told you. SMS. Switch it. My water bottle. What's up, gents? Pinball nerds? You guys want some Kaneda? Bet on Indiana last night. Hit! I'm back in the sports betting realm. Won $800 on Indiana last night. Hell yeah. You know, I just had a feeling about it. I haven't sports bet in a year, but I'm like, you know what? I feel like Indiana's going to take this game. Boy, did they take it. Yeah, it's nice. Winning like $800 and like right away, the game was over. Game was over. What's up, dudes? How's everybody doing? We're a little bit crooked. We're always crooked. Oh man, my thing. I don't have my stand for this thing. I don't know. Let me put something underneath here. A little t-shirt. What's up, suckers? We doing this? Everyone gonna leave here with an Alice topper? No pink glasses. What's up, nerds of pinball? Lend me thy ears. How's everybody doing? Did I knock this off? Can you hear me? Man, oh man. Anxiety-fueled week. Just general anxiety, man. Let it go, Dave. Let it go. Was it seeing Andrew Highway? Was that the trigger? Is the sound glitching? Is it glitching for anyone else? Sounds fine to me. I need to clean these glasses. How's everybody doing? We are all waiting for Pokemon. We are waiting for Pokemon. It is the worst kept secret in pinball. It is happening. It is mostly going to be a George Gomez pin. And look, I don't think it's going to be good. I think it's going to be whatever. Sad boy, baby. Crazy world we live in. It really puts things into perspective. I'm glad we can sit around and argue about trivial boxes of lights. C3PO topper blows, though. But what are you going to do? Take care of yourself, homies. Thank you, sad boy, for the weekly donation of $50 here. You are a true man of your word, and you paid the way for being the most generous Patreon. I have. Thank you. I appreciate it. You basically give every week what people give in a year, and you're very generous. I took Indiana -3 points, put $1,000 on it. That was my limit. I guess DraftKings has changed. It's but which is good. And I won back like $800. I think I'm just gonna cash out. I was gonna roll it over onto the. Oh man, I want to take the Rams, but it's -10.5 in a playoff game. I don't know. At at another stadium. Come on, gang. 99% of us are not like we're not into Pokemon. Okay, like 99% of us are not really into Pokemon. Now, that being said, I don't think we hate Pokemon. I'm like losing. I just think it's for kids. It's for kids. It's not for adults. Transformers to me is way more our thing. But people might argue Transformers for kids too. So I don't know. Whatever. Yeah, Pokemon, man. I don't know. Is it lame or is it just like I think Stern's gonna be shocked. I think they're gonna be shocked that it's not gonna take off like they think. I don't know. I just think people are it to me, it's like I can I be just candid? I just think all Sterns are stupid buys now at new in box prices. You know what I'm saying? I think all Stearns new in box now are just stupidly priced. I don't think they've done anything to justify the pricing of any of their machines, and I just nothing feels worth it. I don't know what they're gonna do. Like their whole model was built around LE FOMO equals premium demand equals pro being the value. Now it's like the LE is twice the price of the Pro. This is stupid. It's so stupid. Well, Spike 3 Hector turned out to be the lamest thing. And they just they can't justify the new platform being worth it. And the way they rolled it out was bad. It's also just like I'm so much more excited for the boutique company games and JJP's stuff. I'm so much more excited. I can't say something, but I'll allude to something. Sonic is gonna blow you guys away. Gonna blow you guys away. I have a bunch to catch up on too. I saw the kudos videos, saw it was 3 hours long. I was like, it is not the Twippies. By the way, everybody, do me a favor, just don't vote in the Twippies. I'm not voting. It's like the lamest. Colin destroyed what was once the most fun end of the year celebration of everything in pinball because he is a vindictive, spiteful, annoying person in the hobby. And he did everything in his power to eliminate my recognition in this hobby. And it's crazy how far like my stock has risen and his stock is just at the lowest ever. And this is what he does for a living. This is what he does for a living. He has no other income. Crazy. Yeah, no, he's made the whole thing irrelevant. And now I think he did someone posted some silly story. He wants to go after the pinball database or whatever. Like everything's like, he's figured out the bro should do data analytics of his own site and how bad it's doing. But look, I think we're gonna get like we clearly didn't get the Pokemon teaser yesterday, right? And I know that Stern went to dealers and I gave them a time frame. Look, it's I I don't know. What is it? January 10th. The Pokemon anniversary is next month. This thing is happening any day now. So I think we're gonna have a lot to talk about within the next like month. So we're gonna get Beetlejuices. We're gonna see what's the deal with like Winchester manufacturing. I think is gonna be longer wait than people expect. I talked about on my podcast the Winchester under the cabinet, really a lot of wires and kind of messy under there. And it's a production game. I don't know what they're doing over at Barrels. I sometimes I feel like they need to just slow down a little bit, pause, like do it right. And they've got the communities on their side. I mean, absolutely, community is on their side. I just the damn topper, the damn topper. pre-order thing just really rubs me the wrong way. I've never seen any company do it. I don't why would you need to do it when you just took in weren't Winchester deposits like 2 grand? Okay, right? Weren't they like $2,000? Okay, so they took in over $1,000,000. They took in over $1,000,000 on Winchester deposits. Why do they need to do this like pre-order for a topper development? I'm really worried about I mean, that just what it just has to be a cash flow issue. Pokemon will be a big seller. I will pass on, but I know people that will get it that do not buy pins. Pokemon will pay my car insurance, gas. Okay. Um, yeah, I gotta get my thing up and running so I can sell you guys some Pokemons. It's coming. It's coming. I'm working on it. I'm working on it. Sub dealer Kaneda coming 2026. Get ready. No shill though. If you want to buy a game, I'll get you the best price possible. That's it. I'll beat anybody's price by $1. That's gonna be my tagline. With free shipping, you got it. What else do people give you? And you're gonna get the customer service and the warranty and the help you'd get anywhere else. It's gonna be good. It's gonna be fun. Why not? You know, just order from me and I'll take care of you. And I've got some of the biggest dealers and distros like as like we're gonna be working together. It's gonna be fun. It's gonna be fun. It's pissing some people off though. They're gonna try to block it. Watch. It won't work though. Won't work. Too much, too much momentum behind it. Let's see. Kiss remake. I prefer I prefer an overhauled Aerosmith. Huh. Well, here's the thing. The remastered games, this whole strategy is just it's the spooky stickers are back on my Neo Geo behind me. Do you see that? What Killian has done? Um the whole remastered strategy gang is a losing strategy for Stern because for every new buyer, they're pissing off an old buyer that really wants nothing more to do with Stern. And that's just like it's you know what the reason why they have to do remasters is because the new stuff's not selling well. They never did remastered games before and they were fine. They're just not these new games are their new current inventory is just not a hit. And so they have to go back and remake games that they think have more demand. The thing about it is this though too. See, I always think that I think if you're gonna do a remastered, how do you get it so wrong with like The Walking Dead? How do you get it so damn wrong? Like, what were they thinking? I don't get it. Kiss remastered is gonna be nice. It's gonna be it's a nice theme to remaster. It's not the best game. It's an okay game, but putting the music pin, putting it with the bigger screen and the enhanced sound system and lighting, well, it's gonna look great. If you own a Kiss, you're pissed. And that's all it comes down to. If you own a Kiss right now, you're pissed off. Kong, no, no. Albert, Kong is not gonna have Kong is never gonna catch a second wind. Kong is never gonna and look, I had Ed Robertson reach out to me and said for 10 years he's been taking pinball machines on tour with him, and King Kong gets the most plays he's ever played a game. And he considers Kong to be the best Elwyn game ever. Okay. So why isn't it selling well? Why did King Kong flop if it's such a great game? See, that's just my question. Why don't people want it? what and here's the thing is Ed loves the artwork on Kong, and I would not argue because I don't think it's an argument. My opinion is Kong didn't sell because of the artwork, and Kong didn't sell because of the lack of theme integration. Okay. And that's why I think people stayed away from it. I think it's got a great layout. And I think the theme integration is a total miss on it. It's real for me, it's like real simple. It's like you make a King Kong pinball machine and there's no Empire State Building in it. There's just certain hard stop. What are we doing here? King Kong without the Empire State Building. Airplanes don't even move. I don't know. It's not really like the subway car thing is not really Kong's storyline. I've watched I don't know, I've watched the King Kong movies. I don't really remember like a subway being a major moment. And the whole sort of the island stuff mixed with the city stuff, I think they should have done it. It would have been cool if like the left side of the playfield was the island and the right side was the city. But the way it's all just like lumped together just doesn't I don't know. I look, I'm happy watching these Kongs plummet in value. You didn't watch Creature Double Feature? What is that? Anyway, you know, I still don't think Pokemon's gonna I don't think it's gonna sell like people think. I just don't. I really don't. I think that Pokemon's gonna do all right, but from what I'm hearing, it's very barren like Star Wars, gang. So do you really think people are gonna be dropping 13 grand, 10 grand on a barren game? I think what's gonna happen with Pokemon is the Pro is gonna be the way to go. I think the LE is gonna not be worth it. Pokemon is a location game. Sure, I guess. But here's the thing, it's like, I don't know why we keep saying that too. Like, are most people on location like Pokemon fans as opposed to buyers? I don't know. But we'll see. We'll see. From what I've heard from people inside Stern, it is a mediocre game at best. And that Transformers is the one with the wow. And I've heard that from multiple people over there. So I don't expect from what I heard is like Pokemon will sell well because of the theme, but pinheads will find it underwhelming. Is what basically the consensus I've been getting on the game. So, yeah. I think what's going to be exciting is when Pokemon comes out, we are then going to get Beetlejuices making their way out the door. That's going to be exciting. I don't think we're going to see Winchester on the line until when do you guys think Winchesters will start really being on the line? I don't think it's going to be until like April. That's, you know, so we'll see. They're going to build the remaining dunes first, and because they're not going to do two lines. No, so this whole thing of like Winchester is on the line. I don't know what's going on over there. Like, I if Winchester was on the line, wouldn't we see like 10 to 20 games go out a week to consumers? So I I don't know. I don't know. I don't think there's anything to worry about. I think everyone's going to get their game. I think Winchesters are going to absolutely hold value nicely. And I think Winchesters are going to be, for me, the whole thing with Winchester, because most people haven't played it, I just am not sure the gameplay is going to excite a lot of the people who bought it without playing it. But there are some people who play it who consider it to be phenomenal layout, and there's others that consider it to be a difficult game that's a little frustrating. I have not played it enough to make up my mind. I only played it once. I've only played it once. So, it's a stunning game though. It's an absolutely stunning game. Like you walk up to Winchester and it puts a smile on your face. It is a world under glass. It is so unique in its execution. It just crushes theme integration. The whole Pepper Ghost screen is so awesome. And again, that's why I really love the game when I think about it because I love the uniqueness of it. I love that nothing you own is anything like it. And I love how just stunning it will be in a lineup. And again, these barrels games, these spooky games, these JJP games, they next to a Stern machine, they make Stern machines look like cheap products. And this is the part where like I just don't get what George and Seth are doing. They Stern needs to like up it. They need to up it. They need to up the way they do their cabinet decals. They need to up the lighting in the game. They need to improve more than they have. And I think they went the other direction. They cut corners and they cut costs and the games are looking even cheaper than they did before. So I really worry about that. And I think it's weird that they have this kind of like, well, we're making this. Well, yeah, well, who cares? It's quantity over quality, in my honest opinion. So, that's like not a good thing. And with everything being the same price, this is why I don't understand like Stern's strategy, man. Sonic's gonna crush them. Like, Sonic is just gonna crush. It's gonna be fun though, because we're gonna get Sonic and Transformers around the same time. Like, that's gonna be a fun moment. I'll tell you this. I can't say much, but I'll just tell you this right now. When you see Sonic the Hedgehog, it will, it will, it is not a pin, especially the CE. It is not a pin you're going to want to put in between other pins. Let me just say that. And it is going to have the most, I think, visually stunning cabinet that does something I've never seen any other cabinet do. And it's just so gorgeous. They nailed it. It's just Harry Potter is just I keep saying this, Beetlejuice, Potter, Sonic, Winchester. These are the new foundational games of pinball collections. Stern needs a new Godzilla. They need a new game that reminds everybody what they can do best. Now, from what I'm hearing about the culture over there, from what I'm hearing about the teams, I don't think they're ever going to get there because they are literally at war with each other. They are pointing fingers, they are blaming, no one's taking accountability for terrible decisions. And then, Seth just brought in like a whole new outside of pinball team to try to right the ship. And he's going to get exactly he's what's funny is I didn't realize this until I've been on some panel discussions or like let me back up a little bit. When you listen to like MBA and business executives, entrepreneurs, if you will, when you think about retail products, there's direct to consumer and then there's like direct to retail, right? And the retail space. And so what Stern is trying to do unsuccessfully is change their business model to being more of a direct to retail organization, right? So selling games at Costco is a good example of that. And they don't want to, it's almost like they think they can create a whole huge new demand for pinball going direct to retail. We see the sales of Stern machines on Amazon as well. I just don't think it's going to work. Pinball will always be a direct to consumer product. That is where the sales are at. That is where the goodwill needs to be established. It's not a retail experience you want. You want a intimate relationship with the company. You want to feel proud about ordering from the company. And I think, you're going to see some new stuff from Jersey Jack in that retail space. That's going to be exciting. I got a sneak peek at something they're working on. More details are coming shortly on that, but they're going to turn the launch reveal moment. They're gonna turn something on that's gonna, just be a more exciting way to sort of explore a game at reveal, which is super cool. What I really do give Brett and Leonard and the team over there credit is they are constantly looking for ways to improve the consumer experience with their product and with their brand. And, what I'm happy about Jersey Jack, and I've been saying this lately, is I love that they've sort of taken away like the FOMO with their games. Like we're gonna make the world's most high-end bespoke pinball machines that are the most expensive, but you're absolutely gonna see the value. And if you want the best version of it, we're not gonna keep that from anybody. It's a beautiful thing with them doing that model, and then the boutiques coming in with the rare FOMO kind of games like Beetle and Winchester. It really is like, do we need these mass-produced Stern machines now? Trying to pretend to be collectible, which they're not. And then everything else is mass-produced, so it's everywhere. Doesn't feel again, love Stern machines on the used market. New in box Stern machines, a fool's purchase. And all the data, I think, was it Loser Kid who does the market data now? They do a great analysis of all you got to do is look at the data. Zach Meny used to say numbers don't lie. Numbers don't lie. I think he used to talk about that in the context of how many viewers um, his show got. But he's right. Numbers don't lie. Like the numbers just don't lie. And the secondhand collapse of Stern pinball prices it's concerning. Now, for some of you out there, you don't care. Like I know dudes here, these guys, and again, I'm looking out at my neighbors. I'm looking out at my friends who live in New Canaan, my friends who live in like Westport, my friends who live in Greenwich. I mean, I know people who live in like $8 million houses. Okay. I know people that are worth hundreds of millions of dollars. I know people that are worth nothing. I know people that are worth a few $1 billion. So there's a decent number of of this community, it means nothing. What is losing $3,000 on a game to a man that makes like 40,000 a day? And I mean that. Like I know people that make like 40 grand a day after taxes. And I end up paying for their whiskey. I don't make that. I wish. Look, a lot of anxiety in this household, a lot of anxiety. There's stuff's happening with Brenda's company that's not great. My company got acquired. There's just a general feeling that like, I don't know, like 2026 is not a year where people are feeling optimistic and energized. Now, on the other hand, I've adopted a little bit of a sort of Lao Tzu, sort of Tao Te Ching feeling on all of it. My whole thing is this: as I get older, I'm almost 50 in September. Que sera, sera is my whole thing. Whatever will be, will be. Life's gonna throw us all curveballs. Life's gonna, you can't expect tomorrow to be as lucrative as today. And ultimately, I sort of, my dad would always tell me this: just plan for the worst, expect the best in your finances, in your life. And never live above your means is something my dad always said. My dad would, and he's still alive. My dad's great. He retired at like 58, forced into early retirement in corporate America, but he had a successful career. He worked in a pharmaceutical company, did M&A, much more lucrative career than a dude working in public relations like Kaneda, his son, Chris. But I know that it's I'm very proud of my parents, and they came from nothing. Both of them didn't come from any money. They sort of worked their asses off, and they grew, and they took care of their family, always first and foremost. My dad would always say he watched people in his position buy a second home, buy a boat, like do all this, like always buying. And then when the career ended, those people just got destroyed. Like their lifestyles were way more expensive, that they needed consistent income at that level to maintain it all. And they were stressed out. They turned to alcohol, a lot of them, and so my parents never drank really. They don't really drink at all. Which they were always present. I mean, my mom was always the one who raised us the most because my dad worked a lot. But when he stopped working, he's been around. He's been chilling. He's been driving like the elderly around, like he does. He's very active in the community. You're stressing me out, Jamie. What's up, brother? Nah, man. I feel blessed just to have two beautiful kids and a beautiful wife, a beautiful house, and a beautiful town in a world that is chaotic and crazy and depressing. It is. I don't think I've really. I don't think any of us really thought in 2026 where we came from, right? 80s, 90s, music, culture, the fall of communism, MTV generations, right? All the optimism of the 1980s and the 90s has been replaced. And it's not, gang, I'm not going to get really political here. It's not Trump's fault. The world is a disaster. Like it literally. So what everybody has to do though is find your pockets of peace and find your community within the chaos that is out there. And when you find your community and your people, which we're like a tribe here, all of us. Hopefully you have it in the towns you live in and the school systems, maybe, or your, I don't know, your alumni groups or whatever it is. And that's it. Like what I'm under no illusions that I'm gonna go save the world by not eating tuna. Okay. I'm not gonna go block ICE agents with a car. Like, I see this stuff happening in the world. I'm like, well, like, what did you expect would happen? You know what I'm saying? Like I was always taught if a police officer like you put your hands on the steering wheel, you turn the lights on, you say yes officer, yes. Like what do people really think they're like gonna in interfere with people with guns? Common sense. Common sense. Anyway, so this hobby of ours is awesome. And we don't give ourselves enough credit. It is this is like the best of when you think about the gaming world, we're a subculture within the gaming category, right? We're a subculture even within the arcade category. But what I love about pinball, man, it's so analog, it's so still relevant and new, and there's so much new stuff happening every year. And I love that the like product is this finite amount of space that these organizations need to get super creative on what to put under that glass. You know what I'm saying? You got like 6 inches and whatever it is, like, I don't know, like 4 feet. Eh, You, you have to sort of put so much into such a tiny spot, and then you're charging so much. Yet, there are days in which I see someone on the train with $100,000 Patek watch on, and I'm like, "Man, pinball's underpriced." You know what I'm saying? There's just moments where I'm like, "Well, why is that thing $100,000? Why?" It just does the same thing every other watch does. It's just jewelry for rich men to be like, "Look at me and my finance job. I got a 7-figure bonus and my wife is banging the Pilates instructor." You know how many divorced people are here? It's amazing. Like there's like so many rich divorced people here. Kids are with the ex. And they all, what's funny about rich people is they tell you their life story without asking. I've noticed this about rich people. They have to tell you all the things that they should hold private. I didn't ask. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like they just start telling you, and then they tell you stuff that you shouldn't be telling people. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like it's like they're proud that their lives are these fractured family disasters. A family should stay together at all costs. No, unless it's bad, get a divorce. You know what I'm saying? Just don't murder anybody. I listen to so much true crime. I'm always like, why don't these people just get divorces? Why do they murder people? Like you really think you're gonna get away with walking home one day and blowing away your wife? Like, yeah, man, like not no. Back to pinball. Let's talk about let's let you guys call the shot. Spooky Pinball is in the house. I saw the underside of Beetlejuice next to the underside of Winchester. What are you doing, David? David, it looks like I called it the spaghetti incident. What's happening underneath Winchester? What's going on? Like, can we where are the cable harnesses? Where's the it looks like a prototype. It doesn't look like a production game. So many hot married cheating women in Darien. Is that true? Man, I am so happily married. I love not. I would never mess up what I have. I don't care how much you couldn't. No, 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 no. But you know what it is, man, Charles, is like a lot of people get married for all the wrong reasons. Like they marry the country club girl whose daddy is on the board, and they married for money and they earned every penny, and then they're miserable. Brenda comes from no money. Like, and I don't mean like they're like, you know, but they don't have like money. They're just getting by. The First Church of Kaneda. Franchi. Franchi and Brenda. A match made in heaven. What do you guys want to talk about? Want to talk about Dutch real quick? I've been kind of elbowing Dutch a little bit. I think Dutch needs something to happen. What's up, Don? Welcome to the party. But Dutch with this whole like topper gate and they're kind of radio silent again, and they've instilled no confidence that they can handle Back to the Future. I just worry about all of it. I worry about all of it because, Melvin needs to sell those 333 Razas or you can kiss Back to the Future goodbye. I think this thing is it's still like a 50-50 if they don't really start being more open about the plan. And that's just the way it is. They really Frenchie, have they been communicating with you, bro? Like, I feel like I don't know. I feel this whole thing is gonna be the Chinese democracy of pinball. And from I talked to someone who saw Back to the Future, the Whitewood, and they kind of were like, it needs more. And this is where I'm getting a little worried now because I just think it's getting designed in a little bit of a vacuum, and I don't know, man. It's like it's really gotta be hard for them, a company that hasn't continued to make game year after year. They haven't, like, constantly been improving, and that's what I think is gonna be the big challenge for Back to the Future is, like, it's like Barry hasn't been honing his skills for 12 years, and he hasn't been learning and improving, and I think that's gonna impact. When I think about Back to the Future, and it's gonna be all 3 movies, which again makes me a little nervous. I don't really want the 3rd one, but I guess it is a trilogy. It needs a hoverboard. I don't think it's gonna have a hoverboard. It needs the clock tower. It needs the DeLorean. It needs 88 miles an hour. It needs a DeLorean where the door opens up maybe, and that's where you lock the balls. Um, or, it'd be cool to have, like, the big flux capacitor would be neat, maybe the one with the food processor, and that's where you lock the balls and they come out. I don't know. Winchester's Mystery House got made in a vacuum. I mean, look, I think Winchester's Mystery House, it'll always be a mystery how it really clicked the way it did with the community. It's definitely, it's definitely gonna make David feel overconfident about these obscure themes. So we'll see what happens. I heard, like, I think it was Ralph said that maybe The Last Dragon is the Bruce Leroy movie is like the Shogun of Harlem is one of the themes they're considering. I mean, I kinda like that movie. Get you got the glow, you know, could be cool. For me, like, what makes a pin cool is, like, you walk into a room and you see it, and you're like, "Oh, man, that's cool. I wanna play that." Not sure I'm gonna feel that way about Pokemon. Yeah, I saw in Pinside, people are like, "Well, what happened to Indiana Jones?" John Borg fully designed an Indiana Jones game, and then the license sort of had a kerfuffle with Disney, and Stern pulled the plug on it. So there's a fully designed Indiana Jones John Borg game. It was Raiders of the Lost Ark. It was just that movie, and it got shelved. RoboCop would be cool. I think, yeah, RoboCop would be great. Disney wants more Crystal Skulls, probably. Lebowski was a masterpiece. Is it still a masterpiece? I think, like, Lebowski is, is a really cool pin. It really is. I think it's a little shallow for a lot of people who are used to some of the more modern coded games. I think the intent was to make it more of like a Bally Williams sort of coded game. You can kinda see more of the game, as you know, you can get through it more than some of these newer games. Lebowski was the slowest. Yeah, the flipper feel Dutch has got, like, those optical flippers or something. They're not the leaf switches. Not a fan of their flipper feel compared to other machines. Um, Rich people are so interesting, just ask them. Man, uh, yeah. Collector games like Big Lebowski are looked at far more than they are played. Possibly. Possibly. I think you definitely wanna have some backups of the rug mechanism and the maybe even a backup of the lower bowling alley, but, like, let's be honest, the lower bowling alley playfield, even though it does get a little old, is so cool. To me, that's still, like, the coolest lower playfield in pinball history. Why not themes like The Boys, Peacemaker, or something current? Well, because the current stuff just doesn't have nostalgia. That's what it comes down to. And this is what's gonna be the challenge for Fallout is, like, the problem with a lot of it, and, you know, even like Stranger Things is, like, some of this stuff comes in and out of culture now. It just doesn't stick in culture and have, like, an indelible impression on people the way stuff from back in the day did. And it's just because now we are inundated with so much content that we long for simpler times, and when movies and TV shows, it just were simpler. And also they just introduced some of the coolest characters ever that we just don't get anymore. Like, when was the last time you went to the movie theater and saw something as original as Back to the Future, right? Or saw something as cool as The Matrix, or something as unique as Fifth Element, or something campy fun like Big Trouble in Little China. You know, there's a there's a big problem in Hollywood now because everything is either these monster $100 million Marvel movies. There's no there's nothing getting green lit anymore that's like just campy and fun. The Exorcist? I don't know. I think that would get kind of old pretty quickly. It's hard to do scary movies that aren't campy. You know, it's much better to do like Nightmare on Elm Street than The Exorcist. You know, I always think, and I'm just gonna look. I'm just gonna say this because I think it would make an awesome pinball experience, and I think it would be the coolest world under glass. I think Titanic would work. I think Titanic as a pin would be like would crush. I'm serious. I'm not even joking. I think Titanic would be such a cool pinball machine. They would never be able to get the rights probably, but I'd rather have a Titanic than an Avatar. That music on a pin and have the whole like ship lift up and the balls fall down. Like, think about how cool that would be. I also think Phantom of the Opera, I keep saying, like, the fact that no one's made like a musical, whether it's Phantom or Wicked or, what else is would be SpongeBob, The Pit? No. The Office, we need The Office. There needs to be more comedic pins. I think comedic pins would do really well. Rocky Horror? Maybe, not really. As a boutique, maybe. I think Rocky Horror is a 3 to 500 unit seller, maybe. Come on, in Phantom, you could have the chandelier topper. You could have the monkey, when he plays Masquerade. I mean, come on, it's like right there. You could have the lower playfield be the boat, right? And have the smoke effect. You could have you could have if you had the candelabras come up from underneath the playfield. Can you imagine Phantom with like lighting like on a JJP pin? Like dun 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 dun. The organ could be playing itself. Dun, 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 dun. I mean, it's all there. It's like the greatest world under glass. Phantom would sell tremendously well. Office, Seinfeld. Seinfeld would be great. Like his apartment and all the different moments. It's funny too, because it's like almost every pinball person has a wife, right? And nobody makes anything that makes the wives go, "We're getting that." It's like there's moments when I look and I see like Jody Dankberg, and I'm like, and you wonder why Stern's themes have been such a miss. Is Jody, man? Jody and Gary picking these themes. What should we get, man? Let's go to Slayer concerts. Mm-hmm. You think they're on Broadway? No. Women do love Beetlejuice. Women do love Beetlejuice. The Deo mode in Beetlejuice is probably the coolest pinball moment I've seen all year. Would you guys agree? Is there a cooler pinball moment we've seen that beats the Deo moment in Beetlejuice? And to me, that's all pinball is. Like, give me a series of moments that I want to get to time and time again. That's it. And then you have a great game. The Harry Potter wizard modes are pretty freaking awesome too, but they're hard to get to. We've been hearing Futurama for years, people. Where is it? Just make it. I'm gonna go to the gym after this. Not gonna lie, a little hungover today. Had a fun night last night watching Indiana, baby. Put $1,000 on it. Won back 800. Woo woo. I should cash out. Should I take the Rams? I don't know. Do you think the Rams are going to cover a 10.5 point spread? Does anyone follow football? Are the Rams going to cover? I would not want to start a game down 10.5. I think it's a bad bet to make before the game starts. Is it raining in Carolina? Yeah. The Jags are on Sunday. Carolina money line. I know. It's just I don't want to take it. I don't want to sports bet. I gave up sports betting for a reason, for this reason. It's just so annoying watching games and it's just degenerate behavior. So I think I'm just gonna cash out my 800 bucks and then do what I always do and just delete the app and just watch the playoffs and have fun and spend the $800 on, food and drink this postseason. Yeah. UFC bets is where it's at. I don't know, man. I think all betting is degenerate. No, look, because I'm a degenerate bettor. Right. I don't I see I'm not the kind of guy that can bet like 50 bucks and just have 50 bucks on it. No, I need 1,000 on it. Because I'll hit the $50 bet and be like, I should have bet 1,000. I have a problem. You know what I'm saying? Like, and so I know that. And so I don't sports bet. Well, I have an addictive personality. Right. So if I'm not gonna go out and have one glass of wine. I'm not gonna go buy a V6 Challenger. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm not gonna do anything halfway. And because I know that, I'm also like, I work out a lot. I watch what I eat. I exercise. And it's like I try to find the balance. There's a great GQ article about it was written by their fitness guy who gave up drinking for 3 months. And he wrote a story that was basically how going sober kind of ruined his life, how it started to make his relationships with his friends all disintegrated. His relationship with his wife got really bad because he's like, I just became boring. And, he talked about the cycle of like when you go sober, you kind of become a Boy Scout, how proud you are of yourself. But the thing is, this is like, there are, and if you have a problem with it, yeah, you like there's no option. Like, but yeah, everything in moderation. But when I do drink, I'm like, yeah, I'm drinking. Like I probably legally like binge drink, but always Uber. And if you're gonna drive, make sure you don't drink too much. That's the key. I think stress is the biggest killer. It's nothing else, man. Stress is what kills everybody. And that's why I say, like, when you like if you cheat on your partner, you're gonna be stressed. You're gonna think about it always. That's why you don't cheating stupid. It's like so simple. If your kids are not happy, you're gonna be stressed. If you lose your job, you're gonna be stressed out. All these things. I am, but you can't control everything. um, where's Pokemon? What do we think? When? We think it's gonna be I think it's gonna be next week or the week after or the week after that. I love when people on Pinside try to shame me like, "Well, Canudos," I'm just reporting what people are telling me, man. Like, I don't really care. I don't care if I get it right or wrong. You don't listen to Kaneda's Pinball Podcast because you want, like, my for me to be 100% accurate on the Pokemon teaser date. Nobody, because here's the thing, like, 95% of my audience does not care about Pokemon. And you're probably happy for me to tell you that Transformers is the better game and just wait for Transformers. That that's I think I would say over half of my listeners really tune in because I'm their therapist that tells them they don't need to buy. You know what I'm saying? It's like you kind of just want like someone else to tell you, like, yeah, it's cool, man. It's cool not buying these things new in box. It's cool. Be cool, man. Just chill, and you'll be happier. It's an interesting thing, right? When you're happier in life with the less you have. It's just like a weird, simple thing. The less you have will make you happier. less to worry about, less to think about. I think the sweet spot for pins in a home is like 5 or less for sure. When I see these people with like 20 games, 30 games, I'm like, why? Why? You can't play them. Can't play them. Can't possibly play them. Stress can be controlled. Don't take things personal. Yeah, it's easier said than done, right? I think it's more about being able to share the things you have. Yeah. You know what makes me happy? Going out with my family, going out on adventures, taking trips. Like I booked Japan. I am so like I don't know if I'm gonna have a job come September. Who knows? Brenda might not. I might not. I don't care. Tickets are paid for. Come hell or high water, we are going. I bought the non-refundable business class on ANA Airlines. It's called The Room. We got the seats by the window, 5A, to and from Tokyo to JFK. I'm going. I'm turning 50 once. I'm going for like for like 15 days, something like that. I don't care. I only live once. I say this to all you guys go to Japan. The money you are going to spend on a pinball machine, go to Japan. It will change your life, it will reset you, and you will see the last country in the world that has class. And I mean it. The rest of the world is just psycho. The rest of the world is rude. The rest of the world is selfish. The rest of the world is idiotic. They are not. You think Japan is letting people just like come on in and ruin our Japanese culture, right? Not like the Irish are doing that right now. Come into Ireland and ruin the Irish culture. Yeah. For some weird thing going on in the world these days, like these countries just want to hand over their culture. It's never the other way around. Yeah. I, I think it's beautiful when you go to Japan and like 99% of people in Tokyo are Japanese, right? It's beautiful. It's beautiful. They don't bump into you. They don't curse at you. They don't spit at you. you know, America is a melting pot. It's what makes America great. And I love America. But you also kind of feel like we're kind of good, right? I mean, at what point are we just like, like we got everybody from everywhere. We're good, aren't we? Good at this point. It's like when I look at what's happening to Ireland because it's Brenda's country. I'm shocked at what they're doing. Like literally, how they're just handing over their country to people from other countries. And you think the Irish those Irish people cannot go to like the countries and do the same. They don't want you there. But you'll let everybody in, let them take over. And then what happens is they take over politically. And that's the scariest thing is we're seeing it happening here too at times. But to watch like what's happening in England, you know what I'm saying? Where like England is being governed by non-English all the like what? What's like it's crazy. It's crazy. It's like being English. This is the byproduct of like wealthy elite people. They literally are ashamed of their own heritage, and so they just like come take it. And then yeah, good luck. New York City is just it's good. Kiss it goodbye. I still love New York City because it's New York City. It's still the best city probably in America. But yeah. What I love about New York is you'll never destroy it. Like it'll get bad. It's gonna get bad, right? It's gonna go very socialistic. It's gonna go like this. It's Mandani is gonna destroy. It's gonna like, but then they'll get voted out. and someone will come in and clean it up. I mean, that's kind of like New York's thing, and it's the yin and yang. You'll take it all the way in that direction. You'll go bankrupt trying to give everybody free everything. And then you'll push out. Yeah, I'm like, okay, feel better now. You'll just push out all the wealthy. It's like, look what's happening in California. All the billionaires are leaving. They're going to Florida. There's a reason my boy Brett lives in Miami. You go where they're not trying to steal your money. Yeah. Look, Connecticut's not much better, but my taxes in this town are not too bad. But I already saw they approved the speeding cameras now. They're gonna put all over Connecticut. So great. Cool. Just keep making it so we can't go above the speed limit. Yeah, Nashville's beautiful. Nashville's fun. It's really fun. Nashville is like it's like I think it's the bachelorette capital of the country too. It's so much fun. There's that Nashville hotel in downtown that has the pool. I think it's the Hilton, or maybe it's the other one, the Inter. It's got the pool at the top. It's like my favorite place to stay. And it's just, you're just there. You got a cold beer in your hand. There's all these bachelorette women in bikinis just chilling. Everyone's friendly. No one's creepy. And then you go downtown, all the live music, the barbecue. It's just like good old America. It's like, yeah, it's beautiful. Kaneda right wing. I'm a moderate. I'm a moderate. Like I've watched. Okay, how many of you out there have made it through all 6 episodes of Heated Rivalry? You couldn't do it. Most of you couldn't make it through. I mean, it is graphic. Like the sex scenes in it. It's about 2 gay hockey players that fall in love. It is like as soft porn as it gets. But it's a good story. I'm very moderate. I have more diverse friends than probably most people in pinball. I don't like brag about it. I don't show. I mean, maybe you think I am right now, but I'm just saying I'm very moderate. But I just think my politics is common sense. That's it. Common sense is my political point of view. Just common sense. Common sense. And I apply it to my thoughts on pinball. I apply it to my feelings about corporate America, like common sense. Like for me, it doesn't make sense if someone drives a company into the ground and then leaves with a $50 million golden parachute. Like to me, that doesn't make sense, right? It doesn't make sense, if you're gonna like cut people's benefits and then ask them to be motivated to push, growth. Like common sense. Like everything's common sense. When you if you hire a team of people that are from New York City to give you marketing advice for a middle America brand, you're not going to common sense. That doesn't work. They don't know what it's like to live in rural America and like pound beer and go to rodeos, common sense. Like when I talked about Jameson stripping out the Irish from its marketing, there is a Jameson TV commercial where they went down to the Dominican Republic and shot a Jameson commercial, the world's #1 Irish whiskey. Every single person in the spot is Dominican. Common sense. Common sense. This is not why people love Jameson. But again, like this is like the agenda and the pushing. Like woke culture doesn't make sense. It is trying to strip what makes a man, a woman, and what makes culture tick. And it had its 2 to 3 years. It swept through culture. It swept through Hollywood. It swept through the college campuses. It went into everything. And you know what? So many people caved. So many organizations caved. So many Studios caved. They all caved to the pressure, and it failed. And we're back. It's over. It's over. And the people holding on to it, like the kids who, poor kids who had to grow up and think like, yeah, man, this is normal. Like, there's no such thing as gender. Like you can identify as a furry, and we're gonna put a cat ball in the classroom for you so you don't feel left out. This shit's happening. Common sense. You're not a cat. Common sense. There's two genders. That's it. You can switch if you want. Cool. I'm not going to stop you. But people are, it got crazy. It got crazy. Look, I always, what is it, Gandhi? You got to be the change you want to see, treat people the way you want to be treated, all that. Like if you're a man of God and you believe in Jesus and, you got to accept what people want, but, I think we got to a point where it wasn't about acceptance. It was about forcing people to accept things and forcing people to experience things that are unnecessary. You know what I'm saying? So I can watch Heated Rivalry and I go into it knowing that this is the story. But I don't want to go into like a Disney movie with my kid and like everything happening in it is like just an agenda pushed, shoved down my throat. And I don't want to have to explain to my kids at 2 or 3 complex sexual things that shouldn't be in these stories. It's just not cool. Like they're kids. They're not. I think the brain's not even fully developed to 22. So anyone making any of this stuff, like you're not really there yet. And we have to protect childhood at all costs. I mean, that's my thing too. Common sense. It's just common sense. Childhood is the most precious period. And these kids, they just, and like they'll learn things. Like we have 2 amazing gay friends. They're getting married, right? And Killian says to them, "How can you get married? There's no woman." He says it right. It's like it was adorable that he said it. It was their response was adorable. And it's like, that's how you learn. You know what I'm saying? Like in real life, like through people in safe spaces where you're comfortable to have these conversations. You shouldn't have to go and like just go see like Zootopia 2 and they're gonna like throw it in your face. The Stranger Things, like the whole Stranger Things, man. Like it's like Will is gay. We knew it. But the fact that they had to like make that such a focal point of an entire, like, I feel like the whole season was about Will coming out. And it's like, and again, it's like, and the Duffer Brothers are like, we spent more time writing that than we did. Yeah. And it shows. And that's why your final season sucked. So it's like, so why did you, like, you had all this great narrative going and you didn't answer most of it. And you just spent so much time. It's like, we didn't watch Stranger Things because we wanted to know Will's sexuality. We watched Stranger Things to unravel the mystery of the Upside Down and how like Henry got to Hawkins and how Eleven got her powers. All the like, that's why we watch Duffer Brothers. Like, come on. But again, common sense. You go down this direction, it is what it is. But this is why, gang, we grew up in the last period where there will ever be common sense. The world post internet, the world post social media, it's destroyed everything. It's destroyed everything. You just like it because everyone's so afraid now of the backlash of leaving stuff out. So they overcorrect. Right. I think that's just what we're witnessing now is like this overcorrection to the point where look at what they've done to. I know I'm on a little bit of a soapbox, but look at what they've done. They really want people to believe that physically men and women are equal in strength. Right. So they Literally, like you could have, like if you watch The Last of Us, an 80-pound woman can beat up and kill a 250-pound muscular man. Right. Okay. Okay. Like common sense. Women are amazing. I love women. Women make this world go round. Women are beautiful. Women are smarter. Women have better attention to detail. Women like can multitask better. They almost can do everything better than a man. They just can't kick a 60-yard field goal. Even if you tell them they can, they can't. Like, and that's okay. Oh man, it's funny. It's funny. But look, these I I just think too, the inability to have any like conversation around anything anymore too is tricky, right? There's a really good really good podcast. Uh one of my very liberal friends got me onto it on Pinside. And it's called Calm Versations, CALM Versations. And it's just like a great podcast where they just talk about contemporary things in a place where they're not afraid to say what is on their mind. And that's good. Like I think dialogue and conversation is great. And this is why I love the pinball conversations we always have, because it's like it's important that we look at things with a critical eye and we analyze stuff and we have a safe place to discuss it. Now, you know me, I never I never say like hateful things. I don't really hate anybody. I mean, I forgave Dave Fix for what he did to me. I don't hate the guy. I don't. I don't hate Andrew Highway. I think there's a lot of flawed people in pinball, right? I think there's a lot of people that have made really bad business decisions, but I think almost every crook, if you will, that came through pinball, Robert Mueller, Kevin Kulik, they were all self-inflicted gunshot wounds, though. There is not a single crook in pinball. Okay, answer me this. There's not been a single crook in pinball where it wasn't immediately obvious that they were never gonna get it done. You know what I'm saying? Name me one crook in pinball where there were not immediate red flags and people chose to ignore them because they had stars in their eyes because they wanted a machine. They let their pinball love cloud their judgment. Okay, Scotty, Haggis had nothing but red flags. Nothing. Nothing but red flags. They made a crappy game in Celts, and then they when he did the factory tour, it should have been a red flag immediately. The second Damien showed what was behind there was nobody working there, bro, right away. And he missed every single deadline, and people still gave money. They went in on Centaur. Like literally, people gave money on Centaur when the entire Fathom was on fire. See, Celts was the bait. This is what crooks do is they hustle people because it's like Andrew Highway. What was it? Full Throttle. They even though they've achieved some version of success, that's what they bait you in with. But remember, like Kevin Kulik said he had the Predator license and was making the game in his mom's basement and people gave him money. Kevin Kulik. Everyone knew that Arnold was beyond licensing. Everyone knew that. And yet Kevin Kulik, a redneck nobody from the middle of nowhere, secured the biggest movie star in all of Hollywood. And people, not only did they give him money, the pinball community rallied around him. Like we love Hilton now, it's spooky, but Hilton was his biggest cheerleader back in the day, right? Andrew Highway, when he missed deadline after deadline and Kaneda was telling people it's going to collapse, people got mad at me, not him. Robert Mueller was the easiest. The thing about Mueller is he didn't really rob the pinball community. Everyone, you know what I'm saying? Like only like this many people lost because they bought a Raza. He robbed old ladies of their retirement money. He robbed $61 million, and the last I heard, he hasn't even spent a day in jail. The Alien Day video that Andrew Highway put up was incredible. Remember that, Dave? It was like the end of the day, and it was like a dude with a screwdriver, like, and that is why I'm glad that making pinball is hard, because it's so easy to just like get hoodwinked. And when we haven't talked about the return, I know we're almost at time. I went on more of like a personal. Hopefully you guys enjoyed it. I don't know. There wasn't much pinball news, but the return of American pinball, to me, it's going to be a joke. It's going to be a joke, and I don't even understand. Again, common sense. They have a fully designed Cuphead game. Why don't they just release it? Why don't they just release Cuphead? I think they're going to. I think they know that pictures are floating around. Why would they not release Cuphead? Cuphead looked good. It looked good. It looked like their best game to date. Maybe dial down the yellow a little bit, but it looked good. I've seen Jack Danger's prototype. It looks cool. The Tank Girl game he's working on. I think Jack Danger will never design a bad game. It's just that simple. I love Jack Danger. If anything, American Pinball should hire Jack Danger and give him the reins. He's over there, right there in Chicago. My thing with American Pinball is I just don't think Mukesh really knows what he's doing, and I don't know how that's going to change. It seems like going through the door at American Pinball every day would be like a bad job. Well, it's funny when you hear the story and Josh Kugler about how David Fix thought that like Tank Force would also have like a prequel game, and he went all in on it, like thinking it would be the next big thing. It's just, you know, David had so many opportunities to make it work, and he just never did. It's just like, it's a shame. But he's all talk. Remember when he used to say like, "Oh, we're gonna add ramps to Hot Wheels"? Never did. Loop de loop never did. Well, yeah, as I said on my show, I think the karma is just going to be the big problem with them. Dan says there's licensing problems with Cuphead. Great, good job, guys, not securing the license. It's just like it's just going to be a mess. It's going to be a mess. In the end, though, and I mean this, Galactic Tank Force will turn out to become a kind of like a cult pin amongst pinheads. Because I read people who have it, they kind of enjoy it. It's like so weirdly different than everything else, and the code is so strange that it like, I don't know, it's like it's campy stupid. Like it maybe is one of these like it's so bad it's good pins. And again, I would rather have a Galactic Tank Force than Stern's new Star Wars. I'm being serious. I would rather have a Galactic Tank Force than Stern's new Star Wars. Because if you buy Stern's new Star Wars, you've reinforced a game that was rushed, a game that like John, hear me out. But if you buy Galactic Tank Force, and I mean like buy a signature edition Galactic Tank Force for like 6,500, a game that was once 17,000, right? That's what I mean though. I would rather just buy it at its bottom and just have it as it's a conversation, man. It tanked the whole company. And the stupid cabinet, it turns into a tank. Stupid. I would put it in my where GNR is and just keep the back box down and just, make love to Brenda on it every day. Be beautiful. Be beautiful thing to do. Can't do that with Star Wars. Can't Put the back box down and make sweet love on a tank to your beautiful Irish wife. Can't do it. Can't do it. That's why you guys listen to Kaneda. What is he saying? Why do I give this guy $5 a month? Why do I feel compelled to sign up for his show right now as the other guys talk about wizard modes? Wizard, I, I really, I, I don't know, man. I feel like, wow, it's, 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 it's uncanny. It's uncanny the inaneness of the directions I go in, and that's what makes it fun. Makes it fun for me too. I have no idea what I'm gonna say. I don't even know. Barely played pinball this month. Who needs more coffee? Note to self: never play Kaneda's GNR. Oh man, my GNR, man. I turned it on last weekend. Kids came over, and it's just like, and I turned it right off. I don't want to play it anymore. I there is nothing left to see. I don't care to get to no sympathy for the devil. I just don't even care. I don't want to. I've seen it all. Like yeah. I'm good. I'm good. It's still fun when new people come over and see it, but it's just yeah, you just like like I'm dying for a game that I'm dying for like a Beetlejuice in here. I'm dying for Transformers. I'm dying for something like I mean Fallout might even make its way. I think Fallout's going to be bigger than Pokemon. I said it. I think you guys are going to like when you see the world of Fallout under glass and it's Elwyn. It's got Hot Lucy on the back box. Yeah, you'll be into it. It's gonna get you. I'd rather be looking at Lucy all day long than freaking Pikachu. I'll tell you that. I mean, Elton John is a way better pin than GNR. Way better pin. It's more fun to flip. Every shot's more fun to hit. The GNR is a dog. It shoots like a dog. It's such a slow shooting game too because you're always like going up, backhanding up the ramp to get the guitar lock going, but like it's just not fun. And then like all the balls are hitting you at the same time. Ugh. Where Elton is like it's exhilarating, Elton John. It's exhilarating to start the multi-balls. It's exhilarating to when the rocket shit multi-ball happens. It's just the whole pin is just like from the moment you plunge, you're like, it's so much fun. No, Halo's stupid. Come on, guys. Halo's dead on arrival. They're not coming out with Halo. CGC is also another company that's like, who's left to care? They do nothing. They do nothing to build a community. Why would you want to invest in CGC games? Why? I just as an organization, I don't know why you would support them. They who's even like in charge? Why don't they talk to us? Why don't they get us excited about what's coming down the road? They don't do anything. Where's Mark Ritchie? Why isn't he out there talking? Who's over there? Is Tim Sexton over there? Who's over there? Mr. Other Sharp is over there. But what? Like they don't do anything. They literally don't do anything to build a community. No, I have not announced how we're giving away those Beetlejuices. It's coming. Don't worry. I will do something fun. You will get a shot at it. Franchi said, I did art for a game for CGC 6 years ago. Still hasn't seen the light of day. Jeez. Franchi, what game was it? Is the statute of limitations up on that, Franchi? Is it Halo? DPX updated? The stuff that's in Franchi's head. I love it. Well, just call me up and I'll say it. French, I mean, I don't even think you care anymore, right? It's like, what like, they don't even like, what could they do? You ruined our surprise of Halo. They I asked, they stopped, "Oh, then share it." So weird. Like, what's with, like, the lack of response? Like, what like, I don't understand. Like, what like, especially someone who's, like, working on stuff for you who has sensitive information, you stop responding. Like, what a weird approach. Everybody, look, have a great Saturday. It is a little bit of a gray day here today, but it's fun. The football playoffs, Indiana last night. We get to see football today, tomorrow. Playoff games are the best. Win or go home is such a fun time in football. Everybody, I love you guys. Thank you for subscribing to Canada's Pinball Podcast. If you are not a subscriber, please sign up on Patreon. It's only $5 a month. You're going to get shows galore. Come in here. You had a shower? Bye bye. I will say, being an older dad it's exhausting, but it's fun. It's fun. Like they're just so amazing. The way kids are, I love it. We never really grow up. We never really mature past 16 as men. We don't. We fool women into thinking we have, but they know. They know. They know what we are. We're just teenage boys with more money. That's it. That's it. Sure, we can wisdom flex, we can, like, dress up, we can hold intelligent adult but we're still just like, "Meow, meow, 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 meow." Like, "Oh, she's hot." Like, doesn't change. Doesn't change. Yeah. We learned yes. Boys do love their toys. They absolutely do. It is funny sometimes I see, like, and please don't take offense to this, but sometimes I'll see, like, dads that only have daughters, and you could just see it on their face. It's like, they're just like, "Mm." But daughters are amazing. Like, having daddy's girls is incredible. But you can see that some of them are just like, "Oh," they're just like, "Who's gonna get into Porsche with me?" Everybody be good. Love you guys. Happy Saturday. Let's yeah, I mean, when they turn 16, everyone becomes a jerk. Later.